Hi friends, my name is Carina with Pilates of San Diego, and we're going to focus on a little upper body workout today. So meet me at the edge of your mat, bring your feet hip distance apart, your big toe in line with your heel, and just start to roll your shoulders back. So thinking of that shoulder joint rolling up and down, finding that nice tall position, standing with that chest lifted, and energy through the crown of your head. On the next shoulder roll, go ahead and depress the scapula. Keep pushing your shoulder blades down and back. I want you to drop your chin to your chest. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Pull the navel in and begin to roll it down. At your lowest roll down, just start to shake your head. Yes, no, maybe so. And when you're ready, you're going to bend those knees, scoop through the belly, slowly stack through your spine again, one vertebrae at a time. Awesome. We'll go right back to those shoulder rolls, up and down, up and back. Just noticing how your body feels for the day, bringing blood, sending energy to those joints, to those muscles. Letting go of any of that negative energy or anything that you have on your to-do list that you haven't gotten to. Next time your shoulder blades are down and back, go ahead and keep them down. Drop that chin. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Pull that navel to spine. Roll it down. This time I want you to start to bend one knee. So I start to bend my left leg and bend my right. Just a little shift from the pelvis. Maybe letting your head completely drop heavy as a bowling ball here. And don't force the leg to straighten. Just go to your range, go to your level. And we'll take that nice soft bend of both knees. Scoop through the belly, roll up sequentially through that spine, stacking each bone by bone, vertebrae by vertebrae, and rolling those shoulders back. We'll take that third round up and down with the shoulders. Chin stays lifted, gaze stays straight ahead. Sending that energy all the way down to your fingertips. And on your next time, again, depress the scapula, breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, roll it down. Now we're going to start to bend those knees and head to walk out. So I start to walk out to my plank. I take a second here, finding my shoulders, stacking them over my elbows, elbows over wrists. And when you're ready, you bend your knees back on it. Send your tailbone to the sky. And again, bend those knees, walk it out to your perfect plank, fingernails at 12 o'clock. Gaze past your fingernails towards the edge of your mat, keeping your shoulders in line with your hips. Legs long. We start to walk it back again, bend those knees. Plant those heels, pull up through the belly. We'll take that third one, walk it on out. Bringing those hands directly underneath your shoulders, spreading those fingers wide, pushing down from the shoulder blades. And from here you can walk it back on in. Stack those heels. Pull the belly in and slowly roll up sequentially, one vertebrae at a time, shoulders back. All right, we're going to get started with those weights. Okay, if you have some twos, maybe 2-pounders, 3-pounders, any type of weights that you have at home. You can also use nothing if you only have your body weight. I'm going to bring my feet back to parallel, my big toe in line with my heel. Okay, now with this position, you want to make sure that you're really using your core, you're really watching on your posture, right? You're not letting the shoulders hunch forward, pull them back and down. Let's begin with lifting one arm at a time, alternating right and left. Keeping that weight in your peripheral vision, not forcing the lift, controlling the down, controlling the up. Now, staying with this movement, I want you to go for both arms together, exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And if you prefer your feet closer together, always an option. Notice if one arm is lifting higher than the other, or if you're feeling stronger from one side. And we'll take 2 more. And last one. Let's go and bring those arms in front of you for that front raise. Keep your shoulders rolled back and down. Again, alternating to start. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Making sure you're not leaning back as you lift, one weight at a time. Make sure you're not going too high, no matter what weight you're using. Only bringing it towards that shoulder position, if that. And when you're ready, we'll head to both arms, same time. Exhale up, inhale down. Try not to arch the lower back, but also try not to sink and sag in the spine. Inhale down, exhale up. Exhale up. Last two. And last one. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna bring my right arm forward, okay? Now we're going for that asymmetrical position. The right arm forward, the left arm side. I want you to hold that left arm, just drop that right arm, exhale to lift. Inhale down, exhale to lift. See that weight in your peripheral vision. Reach to that level that you can work from. Last two. We get to hold that right arm and now move the left arm down and up. See if you can hold the right arm in front of you. Move that left through the space. Inhale and exhale, 3 more. Staying with that breath. Last one, and both arms, keeping that L shape or that asymmetrical position. We lower and lift, up and down. Reach and lower, controlling the up, controlling the down. 3 more. Exhale. Exhale, lift. Last one, you're going to hopefully hold at the highest point and give me 10 pulses right here. Little 10. 2, 3, 4, keep this small. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We get to do that same thing on the other side. So I know the camera flips everything, but I'm bringing my left arm forward, my right arm beside me, okay? No slouching, pull the shoulders back, find that neutral spine. We begin to lift both arms here. I hold my right arm and now I lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. Lowering and lifting, here for 3. Reach for 2. Hold that left arm, now switch the arm that you're lifting. Down and up. Down and up. Last 3, 2. We take both arms together, just a few, lifting up. And lifting, lifting, 2 more before we go for those 10 pulses. Bring those arms up where you can, shoulder blades down, pulse it out. 10, 2, 3, hips stay square. Last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're gonna give those shoulders a break. Let's head to triceps. I'll turn profile just so everybody can see me a little bit better. I keep my feet in that nice parallel position with that big toe in line with the heel. I scoop through the belly, bend from the knees, crease from the hips, bring the weights to my hips, and start to alternate my tricep kickbacks. And you can focus here, one arm at a time. The tricky part is not to drop your chin too much, but it also is to not look straight ahead, right? You want to keep your head in line with your spine, maybe bringing your gaze to the edge of your mat. And remember, don't force your kickback. Only bring that weight towards your hip. Stay a little heavier in the heels, lighter in the toes. We'll take one more round of singles. Putting these 2 together, right and left, push it back, out, in, out, in. Now, super duper important, remember, we're not rounding the spine. I'd rather you keep your spine in neutral and stick with single arms if the double kickback is not working for you. Squeeze that imaginary pencil between your shoulder blades. Try to reach those pinkies behind you. Big, strong chest, lifted heart. Final 2. Hold back and squeeze to finish. Squeeze it in, and in. Try not to drop too far down. Keep those arms at that height you just gave me before. Squeezing in. Use your triceps and your lats. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and safely roll out those shoulders. We're headed down to our plank for our shoulder taps. Keep your weights close by. You will definitely still need them again. You're going to bring those hands right underneath you, where we started. Now see if you can try it at first on that full plank, but if you do need to modify, you can always drop to your knees. As long as you're not leaving your butt behind you, and as long as you're aware of where the pelvis is in place, okay? When you're ready, either position, try the first if you can. You're going to start to nice and slow tap right to left, left to right. Right to left, left to right. Now you don't want your hips rocking like crazy. So even if it takes you a long time to get one shoulder tap in, take all the time in the world, all right? Exhale to tap, exhale to tap. No rounding from the upper back, middle back, or low back. Stick with that tap for just 4, 3, 2, and 1. We head to a low plank. We take it down, down, and now you're going to come right back up, and up. Other side. Down on the left, down on the right, up on the left, up on the right. Down on the right, down on the left, up on the right, up on the left. Friendly reminder, you can always take this position in your kneeling plank, your modified plank. Down on the left, down on the right, up on the left, up on the right. 2 more sets. Down on the right, down on the left, up on the right, up on the left. Last set, give it your all. Down on the left, down on the right, up on the left, and now hold your plank to finish. Walk your feet in together. Squeeze from those inner thighs. Pull the navel in towards your spine. Holding that strong plank here for just 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Come on down. Maybe even roll out those wrists or give yourself a little stretch. Pulling those fingernails back to your elbow. All right, again, hopefully you haven't lost your weights. It should still be close by. We're heading to some kneeling work. If you do have any serious knee issues, have no fear. You can always do this series standing, okay? So if you are okay with the kneeling version, we're gonna make sure that we can see the weights, okay? See your weights in your peripheral vision, right? Soften at the elbows. Think of that hug a tree as you lift, okay? Lowering and lifting, but also closing those arms, meeting those weights at 12 o'clock. Inhale down, exhale to lift. Okay, now I'll turn to the side. I want you guys to keep going. Make sure you're not hinging. I want everything to pull down with you, right? Shoulders over hips, and then bring it forward. Notice here, I literally keep my shoulders over my hips as best as possible. Okay, meet those arms together at 12 o'clock. We'll take 3 more repetitions. Inhale down, exhale, lift tall. Last 2. Final 1, you stay at that tippity top position. Now open those arms, little out and in. Not as far as before. Kneeling tall, shoulders over hips, hips over knees. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have another round of chest work. So try to hang on to your weights if you can. We'll do a classic chest press with that same lift of the pelvis, all right? So before we do anything, I always see this all the time. We want to make sure the shoulder is in line with the elbow, right? And we want to also make sure that the elbow is in line with the wrist. We don't want to break the wrist or drop it, do anything crazy. We want a really nice, strong palm to forearm connection. Here I inhale down and I exhale as I lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. 2 down, 10 to go. Reach and push. Exhale to lift. Friendly reminder, we don't send the hips back, right? We just practice that with our hug a tree. You want to make sure that your shoulders stay over those hips as you lift. And for those of you with knee issues at home, no worries. You're still with us standing, doing the same arm movement. You have 3 more repetitions. Last 2. Final 1, staying at the top. Let's just move those arms 1 at a time. Push it out. Out. Exhale. Exhale. Breathe through that space. Keep your hips pointed in that same direction. Pulling the elbow back. Feel the scapula squeeze to the midline of your back. Final 4, single. 3. Press for 2. And last 1. All right, we're going to ditch those weights again. Don't get rid of them completely, but we'll need them for another series. We're headed to some lovely push-ups. A push-up with a side reach. So bring those hands much wider than your shoulders. Here you can choose if you're on your toes for that full push-up, or if you're on your knees for that modified push-up. I'll show both just in case anyone at home is choosing one option over the other. If you're in that full stance, you pull those abs in tight. We take that down push-up, we lift, and now you're going to reach your right arm towards the sky and bring that arm back down. Again, alternating. We take it down, up, and then we lift towards the sky. Take your time, everybody. If you're on your knees, no booties left behind. Push your hips with you and continue. We take that push-up. We take that lift. We stretch, gaze follows, and we come down. Fingernails stay at 12 o'clock for that push-up. Big stretch through that arm and that thoracic region of the spine. 4 down, 6 to go. Lift as you reach, you feel that twist. You come on down. Take it lower, up, and a reach. Last 4 push-ups, maybe trying 1 or 2 on your toes. No big deal if you stick with that modification the entire time. And no big deal if you need to drop down to your knees for the final bit. Make sure that gaze follows that head and that neck is an extension of the spine. We have 1 more big push-up with that side lift. And then we reach, 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 and come on down. You can take a little child's pose, stretching out those shoulders, maybe even flipping your palms up towards the sky. Releasing any tension you're holding in that lower back. Setting that head down on your mat if that works for you. Taking 2 more breaths there, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And taking that last final breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. All right, again, hope those weights are close by. We're basically taking our roll up with weights, okay? So again, it's just another accessory. If you don't have weights, don't worry, you can do everything that we're doing without them, all right? So I want you to first find that tall position from your sit bones, right? Your sit bones, think the bony parts of the butt lifting tall from your mat, pretending like there's a wall behind you, okay? Here I'm going to open up my arms, okay? I want you to only stay seated here for just a sec, okay? Really, really think tall, length all the way up. You're gonna start to shoulder press up and down. Now with the shoulder press, I'd rather you not lift as high if you're finding yourself rounding and crunching in your back. Okay, so even if you can't actually straighten those arms all the way, even if you can't touch those weights overhead, I want you to find your range and lift from there. Before we even add on the roll-up or anything else, just practicing that bend and stretch from the elbows in your seated position. Exhale to lift, 3 more. Both lifting together, don't favor one arm over the other. We'll do 1 more for good luck, and coming down. All right, so that lift is basically our highest position, or the position we'll be getting to, okay? So if you think of that high position, you bend your elbows, you're gonna start to roll through your spine sequentially, pulling that navel in, keeping those elbows bent, no breaking of the wrist, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. I end with my head down, my elbows hovering. Inhale through the nose to prepare, exhale, chin to chest, scoop through the belly. At your highest point, that's when you find that height again. We lift, we lower, and we tuck and roll sequentially through that spine. Keep pressing those shoulder blades down, letting those weights just come with you for the ride. Inhale through the nose, exhale, chin to chest, scoop up, lift, tall, tall, tall. And again, lower those arms, tuck that tailbone, imprint every single part of your spine on your yoga mat or your floor, wherever you're working out. Notice my elbows are again hovering. Inhale to prepare, exhale to lift, scoop through the belly, lift tall through the chest, lowering down. We'll take 3 more repetitions here. Again, if you don't have weights, you can do the same movement here, pretending that you're holding weights and slowly rolling, focusing on that spinal articulation. 2 more, focusing on your breath, scooping through the belly, lifting tall through those sit bones, all the way through your crown of your head. Push the scapula down, relax the hip flexors. And we have that final repetition. We lift, 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 lift. Reach and stretch up. Weights or no weights, we bend those arms. We slowly come down 1 vertebrae at a time. Alrighty guys, we still need our weights. All I need you to do is bring your legs to tabletop. So find that nice 90-degree position. We're actually going to find dorsal flexion of your feet. So you can also find into that flat-footed position, okay? Now here I'm going to start nice and simple, just reaching up and down with my arms. Okay, up and down with those arms. Lifting and lowering, not smashing the elbows down. Just doing what you can here. Maybe if your weights are too heavy or you have a larger set, you can alternate to make this a little easier. Now, if you're sticking with that double arm connection, stay with that double arm connection. We do get to flip those palms into, hold the arms up, take the palms to now face your legs. This is where coordination comes into play. I want you to reach the right arm back, the left leg forward. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's alternate left arm back, right leg forward. Inhale and exhale. Notice when one arm moves, the other does not. Inhale through the nose, exhale, pull back. We're keeping that strict dorsiflexion in the foot today, pulling that big toe back to your shin. Find that neutral spine as you inhale to lengthen, exhale to pull everything in together. Continue alternating one leg and one arm. And just be careful if you're starting to feel that you're going too far back with your arm, just put the brakes on a little sooner. Even if your leg can't extend completely, or it's not going to as low to the ground as I'm showing, that's okay. We'll take 4 more singles. Inhale through the nose. Exhale as you pull in. Focusing on that neutral spine, zipping from the ribs, pulling that tummy in tight. We have 1 more single each round. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Last one, inhale back. And exhale forward. Alrighty guys, we're gonna bring those feet down to the ground, sticking with those weights, okay? Sticking with those arms. I want you to think of reaching just your arms back. Inhale back. And exhale over your shoulders. Okay, so it has the shoulder, elbow, wrist connection and right to that weight. Inhale back behind you, exhale over. Okay, pressing firmly through those feet. We inhale as we reach, exhale as we pull. Try to find that symmetry through the right arm and the left arm. You know, my left arm always wants to lag on me. It's really hard to get them perfectly in unison. We take 2 more here. Last one, I want you to lift your chest and your sternum to come up to spinal flexion. I also want you to flip your palms up towards the sky and begin your heel taps. Okay, now we're taking weighted heel taps today, but if the weights are too much for you, I want you to ditch those weights and just tap and tap and tap. An issue here is that sometimes our knees want to do a little funky dance and do their own thing. Make sure you're really pulling in from the navel, planting the feet firmly, weights or no weights. Feeling that lateral flexion, reaching towards the side, reaching towards that side, pulling in, and in. Supporting that head if you need to. You can always take that modified version. Final 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll come on down and safely let that go. All right, guys, so we'll go right to that scissor. I'd also like you to try this with your weights. If not, no big deal. Basically, right, instead of your arms just being wide and letting those legs flow through the space, or even pulling through the space, I want you to see if you can use your weights to work the upper body and the lower body. You're coming down with one arm, down with the other. See if you can point your toes, stay lifted from that chest. Don't actually slam the weight down to the floor. Think of reaching opposite arm, opposite leg. Just like you would walking down the street. Reach, reach, reach. Bring those toes back. Stretch through the back of your leg. Big arms, big stretch. Final 4. Reach for 3. Reach for 2. And reach for 1. You can come on down and roll out those ankles. Hug those knees into your chest, whatever works for you. Alrighty, we are done with your weights for the day, but we still have time for our last little plank. series. So you'll come to the edge of your mat, okay? A little tricky because you're not in a full plank, right? You're going to keep the knees right underneath your hip flexors. So you can find that position with the shoulder over elbow, elbow over wrist connection. Spread those fingers wide, really work the entire palm. Now as best as possible, try to keep your knees right underneath your hips, okay? Here you get to prop down on your toes, pull up through the belly without arching the back. Keep your spine in neutral. Pull up through that belly and begin to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now, when we're in the studio, sometimes I see slamming down on the knees, right? Pretend that your knees don't actually even touch the floor, right? You can think of that 1 inch up and just lightly hover. Up, lightly hover. Up, lightly hover. It's almost like there's a string from the middle of the back lifting you to the sky or pulling you up towards the sky. Right? You don't want to round, you don't want to arch, no cat-cow here. Thinking of that neutral spine, staying with that shape, lifting and lowering. We do get to add on by walking those legs back to our full plank. In just 3, in just 2, and just 1. Let's add on with this movement. Same beginning, we lift, you push right leg back, left leg back, right leg in, left leg in, and then you come back down. Little down, up, back, back, in, down, up. Notice the shoulder stability is crucial. Okay, you have to be very careful, very cautious of that upper body connection. Take your time here. And if you prefer to stick with the first movement without adding on that extension of the legs to that full plank, that's totally fine. Keep pushing the shoulder blades down. Keep rolling through that series. We do get to head to that wonderful side plank. 2 more repetitions. Last one. Easy back, back, in, and in. All right, we'll take that side plank position, and it's actually a lower side plank today. So I want to bring your right forearm down to the floor. Okay, so your right elbow is directly underneath your right shoulder. Here you want to make sure that you're not too far out, also too far in, keeping that close distance, okay? Now, I'll show you the modification as well, but let's stack the feet, push down on that left hand, just for now. Okay, you're going to push down on that left hand, lift up through that side body, and lift that left arm. If it feels good, lift that left arm, keep your gaze lifted, looking past all the way. If you need to modify, you're still with us here, just with that modified plank, that modified side plank. You can still think of pushing your hips away from the floor. You can still think of reaching from that side body. Try to hold your side plank, whatever version you're choosing, pushing away from the ground. Final 3, 2, and 1. You guys may be able to roll right to that other side. I'll switch it so I'm still facing the camera, bringing that opposite elbow down. Okay, so your elbow stays connected. You find that shoulder over elbow connection. You find your palm on the floor. This time we use the right hand just for leverage to begin. We push up through the pelvis, stack those hips. Once you feel sturdy with those ankles stacked, you may be able to lift that right arm. Once you feel good with that right arm, you may be able to take your gaze with you. Pretending to be stuck between 2 walls here. See if you can lift a little higher. If you took that modification on the first side, no worries. Bend your bottom leg, okay? Take that same modification again by reaching through the hips, pulling through the belly, squeezing from those obliques, and hold that plank. We finished that big side plank reach, final 5. Maybe reaching a little higher, stronger in the sternum, stronger in the chest for 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring both hands down, this time coming to a real cat-cow. Thinking of placing those hands right underneath your shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips. And begin to really push down on those shoulders, arch the back, let that gaze follow. And we'll take the opposite by tucking, dropping that head, tucking that chin, pulling the navel in. And at at your own time, just take a few cat-cows. Noticing which position feels better. It's kind of hard to choose. They both feel so good. Rounding, finding that curvature. Just notice how your body is feeling a little different than when we started. We'll take that last cat-cow, reaching that chest up to the sky, feeling that connection from head to tailbone. Still finding that connection from head to tailbone. And we'll lower down to that child's pose. A little different, we'll thread the needle today. So think of reaching your arms out first, okay? You can bring your right arm, thread it through, thread that right arm underneath that left. Maybe set the edge of your forehead or your cheek down to the mat. Keep stretching forward with the left arm. Keep reaching down with those heels and the sit bones. And we take that right arm forward, we'll switch to the other side. The other thread the needle. So here you can think of reaching the left arm underneath. Relaxing into the lower back. And we'll finish with our seated shoulder stretch. You can find your way on down to the floor. Whatever position feels comfortable for you, whether that's crisscross applesauce or a straddle position or your legs out wide, whatever's most comfortable. We'll bring that right arm over, try to hug above or below the elbow. Try to push that shoulder blade down. Maybe let your ear or your chin follow along. And we'll take that right arm up towards the sky, bend from the elbow joint. Now if that's good enough for you, you can stay right there. If you need a little bit more, gently press or tug on that elbow. Think of that tricep stretching as those fingers reach to the middle of your back. And let that go. Taking the other arm up and over, dropping that shoulder blade, pulling back as much or as little as you need. Maybe letting the ear go, dropping the chin, whatever works. We go ahead and take that left arm up towards the sky, bending from that elbow joint, pulling up and over, zipping those ribs, stitching the ribs a little bit more, pushing down, reaching down the back. You can let that go. Roll out those shoulders, shake out that head, whatever else you need for the day. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, my name is Carina. I hope you guys have been staying healthy, staying strong, and remember, most importantly, to keep your bodies moving. We will see you all soon, hopefully very soon, but for now, stay with our videos and stay accountable.